Boom. God fucking damn it.
Cheers. Ring ring ring, hello Simpson Virgins. Welcome back to Crown's magical moon cave.
Ban her, get her the fuck away. Welcome back to Crown's Crypto Cave. The bell is in my face. Does anyone from Dubai know? Do you happen to know if you live in Dubai, will they let a vibrator come through the airport security or not? We need to know. It's a very important matter. We're going to Dubai on Saturday or Sunday or whatever the fuck day. Do they know? For real though. Seriously though, do they actually have, is it a no vibrator policy? Are you not allowed to dildo yourself in the early morning hours? I need to know, baby. I need to know. My water bottle is also in the shape of a massive red dildo. Anyways, before we get into it, I do want to say, I want to give a major shout out to my man, Mr. Roger. Mr. Roger creating the Crown Crypto newsletters over here, which have been free, which you can check out at any moment. What the no, this is full. No, I did not. Sir, get out of here. You are fucking with my flow. Anyways, yes, so check it out. It's 100% free, and he's just amazing with English, by the way. Well, he is English himself, so, you know, probably should be. But with that said, you can check it out on the Crown Chain application for 100% free at any moment of your choosing. And it actually just got uploaded the other day, so it is still very much relevant. And he's just the fucking man right now. Anyways, with that said, let's go to the regular dashboard over here. Of course, I should remind you that you can get the Crown Chain application for free. It's literally $0.00 in the link description below. And we do see some things of interest today. The Fear and Greed Index is very interesting to me at these price levels, just because, you know, Bitcoin is pretty much around its prior time high. As far as I'm concerned, Bitcoin is at its prior time high. I mean, what's a fucking $2,000 difference when we're talking about an asset that trades at $6,000? My point is that we don't really feel the exuberance of this market right now. I don't really see like a humongous amount of new people coming into this market. I see mostly the same faces, which is good. But this is very reminiscent to me last year when Bitcoin was just below about $20,000, spending some time below there. But it was like no one was getting too excited about it, and I suspect that this is, well, a somewhat good sign, as the Fear and Greed Index is high. I mean, we are in the greedy zone, obviously, but we're not like a 90 plus. We're not 85 plus, where it really starts to go into extreme greed. And at some point, you know, we obviously very likely will enter into that region. But for right now, I do think that that's worth mentioning. And also a good question to kind of postulate to the community here. Like, what do you, if you were around last year or even the year prior to that as well, do you get sort of the same feelings as you did around those times? It really doesn't feel like we're seeing a major influx of new people into this market. It feels like we're just seeing, you know, more of the same. I see you over there, Mr. Josh. What's up, Mr. Josh? We'll get to that soon enough, man. I do want to get through this first and foremost. It's actually be a little bit more of a shorter one on Bitcoin today, because things are happening all across the market. Anyways, top 10 best coins in the last 24 hours. We see Telcoin, Polkadot, Waves, Kusama, VeChain, Ravane, Stellar, and XCC Network, all with some pretty decent gains on the day. Actually, Curve DAO token there as well. I wonder how that one goes, being that it is a reward token. But into the market data tab we go over here. I want to address something. So I've been a little bit more on the concern side for the global open interest and also the leverage ratios over here as well. And while I do stand by what I say, that this is, of course, you know, a somewhat concerning thing, seeing as it has been so consistent over the history of time, calling some, you know, major pullbacks and also, or, well, basically bull traps and bear traps in this case. I do suspect that the picture isn't necessarily that clean, because we could very easily see with numbers like this, it's not necessarily going to be a long squeeze. It could actually be a short squeeze in this case. The reason why I say that is because the global funding rate is just not getting into any like crazy territories that we really expect to see for, you know, humongous pullbacks. And when I talk about that, I mean, I need to see it above about 0.1% and sustain there for, you know, a few days at the very minimum at a time, compared to what we've had back on over here in February, March, April, of course. You'll even notice back in October, November of last year, when Bitcoin was, you know, right below the prior all-time high at $20,000, we were pretty much operating on the same sort of territories as what we're seeing right now, just around 0.1% region for the global funding rates, which is not anything too crazy. I mean, that's basically par for the course in general. I mean, you're expected to pay for your fucking longs when things are just straight to the goddamn moon and beyond, of course. But I do think that that is worth mentioning. And obviously, we can actually go into the data as well, perhaps on another video. Maybe we'll do it on this video if we do have time. But we can also show, or I can just show it right here, man. If we look at like the last 24 hours, I'm looking at a daily right here, daily CBD. If we're looking at daily CBD, you can see very, very obviously perps are on the sell side right there. There is a net seller of perps. What do I mean by that? Sorry, that is not coming off properly. You have to understand CVD in order for this to make sense. And how do I explain this? CVD is cumulative volume delta. So it's basically suggesting that there have been technically. It's not that there's more shorts, because there's always one long for every one short. How do I explain this though? There's been more market shorts than market longs. Yeah, there we go. That's the right way to be looking at it. And there we go. Some nice buying going on over here as well. So I do suspect that it's relevant to think that this very well could be a short squeeze rather than a long squeeze at some point. Anyways, with that said, let's go into the most important things to be aware of pretty much in the next 10 days here. And what I've outlined on this chart right here is just a bunch of vertical blue lines. And they all correlate with the same indicator. But just even without looking at that indicator, you can look at all of them right here. And actually there's even one more right here, by the way. And all of them have been major pivots on the market, getting, humongous meets of price action right there as well. And what is it correlated with? It's correlated with the BBWP over here. All very low reads, as you can see, and all producing some pretty amazing moves, both to the upside and the downside. What's interesting to me right here is that obviously within the context of the current trend, we are within an uptrend. We identified even if you're like the most conservative person in the world looking at 5-day trend, you're looking, even as early as late, of course, September as that being confirmed. And we do have an uptrend right there, obviously on, basically all timeframes that matter in this case. And with that in mind, that does mean that the buys for this expansive read of 5-day BBWP probably going to be to the upside. That's also going to be supported by 5-day Jewel over here as well, which is getting a positive signature, and all supported by DMI, so that is good. The last time we saw a signature kind of around this region, around this realm, was actually October of last year, in fact. And even on the low end, we've seen as much as, about 45% from bottom to top on even like the least impressive result on this one. But more importantly with that, you can obviously notice that this did just align with, another continuation phase. It's just reaccumulated right here, another higher low on the 5-day as well, and then upwards and onwards for the next, 6 months essentially. So with that in mind, I suspect that we got something very similar going on over here. And we even postulated this about a month and a half ago, that this price action over here, very similar, very reminiscent to what was going on over here as well, in the sense that you get your first base, nice big move up, comes back down, scares the shit out of everyone, myself included, and then gives the same read right there, and then we get continuation of trend. And this is looking good. This is looking good overall. So I actually do look for this to play out over the next probably 10, maybe 15 days or so. So let's just call it like a week to 2 weeks. I like to always say that, and then it fucking happens in the same goddamn day. Fair enough. That's trading at the end of the day. I don't think that you can actually like time these sort of things, but looking for expansion off these regions right here does seem to, correlate with some pretty impressive moves. So I do think that that's relevant to be speaking about. As always, going to come with with an invalidation point on the other side. And this one is very much valid as long as we are especially above 54,000 bucks on Bitcoin. That does imply that short-term, medium-term, and long-term all looking, essentially up. And if we do start to lose 54,000 bucks, that would obviously affect the short and medium term, not necessarily the long term, but I would be looking for a move down somewhere around 50,000 bucks first before anything else, and then reanalysize it after that. But for right now, things are, for all intents and purposes, quote unquote good, if you will. Let's go back to the short-term timeframes over here. I forget if I spoke about this. Yes, I did speak about it on my channel. I've also been doing videos on Elliot Trade's channel as well, which is actually really fun for me, just because I actually learn a lot about YouTube and everything, because he's fucking on it, man. He's fucking on. He's going for world domination. And honestly, if there's going to be one person in the crypto space that's going to go for world domination, I think that he's one of the better guys to be doing it. Anyways, we spoke about a little bit of a bear trap late in the day yesterday with confirmation above about 57,000 bucks on a 4-hour closure. We got that right here, 57,400 closing price, and then upwards and onwards, as that is going to be the next pivot for the short and medium term timeframes going on here again. So I am am essentially short-term, medium-term, and long-term bullish as long as Bitcoin's above this region right here. Below about 56.5, let's call it, on a 4-hour, I would change around my short-term views, look for another drive back down to the blue box territory over here. That obviously correlates with the medium-term, and then go onwards and forwards from there. Same sort of interpretation as yesterday. But for right now, medium-term timeframes like our 12-hour is giving us yet again another drive of hidden bullish divergence in the bullish control zone, back above the exponential on the RSI as well, with BBWP expanding off the lows. I'm gonna take a sippy sip of this while you marinate on those thoughts, and then we'll get into the rest of it soon enough. Santa mug doing really, really well for me today too. Anyways, yes, okay, so what else do we want to talk about while we are here? I'm sure that I have an extension somewhere. Where's my fucking extensions, huh? Show me my goddamn extensions. Maybe it's on this chart. Nope, it's certainly on this chart. It's gotta be here somewhere. There it is. There she is. And so this extension right here just took out of the prior base at that $40,000 territory. You can see that we are brushing up against the 2-spot extension right here. So far, finding our wick highs around that region, that's completely fine. That's to be expected. A little bit of pushback on a little bit of algo prop taking aspect in this region. However, very rarely do we see tops within that region. I'm really looking for a leg up towards a 2-spot 272, maybe even as far as a 2-spot 618 before the next sort of medium term, maybe even daily consolidation. And that is within the low $60,000 territory. And of course, that would obviously imply that Bitcoin is, very likely going to trade towards prior all-time highs and basically into the deeper part of the of our higher value nodes on the volume profile right here. So I do like all of that. Again, valid as long as Bitcoin's above about, on a medium-term time from 54, on a short-term 56.5 in this case. Momentum oscillators on our shorter-term timeframes, how are they looking like over here? 4-hour Stokes playing out the same trend line that we identified going back from September 21st, up as long as above 55.2, so looking, more or less good right there. Hourly's going to be flip-flopping around. Funnily enough, hourly should be pretty damn good on these moves for what it's worth, just as an aside. And let's go to the 12-hour. What are we seeing right here? Yeah, flippy-floppy, Mr. Floppo as well, 58.350 is the magical number on this one, and daily is actually up yet again above 57.250. Now keep in mind, we did just close a 5-day on CME last night, which I forgot to mention yesterday. And let's bring it over here onto the 5-day chart on the Trollinger bands on my trending charts, is what I like to refer to them as. And what do you know? We do have our second not necessarily an open and closure, but our second closure above the top side Trollinger band that we have seen on the 5-day. Consecutively, and this has not really happened in quite a long time, actually. Last time that we saw these sort of trending motions was way back, into late 2020, early 2021, of course. So looking at this right here, same sort of interpretation, going onwards and forwards. I would expect a bit of short-term pushback relatively soon, anywhere around $60,000, whether it be $59.5 to $61,000 is fair game. Probably going to see a lot of volatility around those regions. In this case right here, you can see that we're just brushing off the top side of it, which is 59.250 on CME. Any sort of a closure above there coming into the next closure, and I wouldn't just be looking for new all-time highs. I'd be looking for a nice drive into like the mid $60,000 territory if that does get confirmed. Of course, spot price action did not close that one last night, so it's not really relevant. Did the buy daily close? It did actually, and what do you know, a big chick with wick right there, as it does close on around the highs before. So again, same sort of thing right here. Would like to see this one close above $59,000, and at that point, I do think that's looking at a price target somewhere around about $61.5 to $62,000 is going to be relevant. What do you know? That even lines with the daily topside Trollinger band right here as well. So areas of interest to the upside, and just be aware of where those sort of pivots do come in line, because of course, I'm not necessarily saying that Bitcoin's destined to go up there. I'm just saying that, well, as long as we just don't crack back down below that 56.5 level that we spoke about earlier today, I'm essentially looking for Bitcoin to, well, travel the path of least resistance in this case. And by the way, the 4-hour BBWP continuing to expand as we identified from the past couple days off the last major low. So that is good as well. Anyways, we are 23 minutes into this video. I think today I'd actually like to get onto comments a little bit earlier. Address Mr. Josh. What's up, man? There he is. Depends if you have lube, says Filson. Oh, Filson. Oh, Mr. Filson. What's up, Josh? Namaste. Can you check total 12-hour? Okay. Well, yeah, let's just let's just see what's up over here, and let's see what your comment says. Does BBWP and other indicator work on this chart, or do they get negated like on Bitcoin dominance? The thing is that total market cap, while it is like a okay snapshot into the health of the general market, it's just better to chart whatever you actually want to, be trading here. Does BBWP essentially work on this is what you're asking? Yeah, looking at the past iterations of this, we can see this one over here certainly did get this expansive move. We can see this one over here definitely got this high before the next major move down. This one over here, big move up yet again. This one over here, nice move up as well. This one over here, big move down. So yeah, I would say that it generally works, yes. And what do you know? We are pretty much at 0 percentile right here, right now. So in this case, again, going off of trend momentum and volatility, we do have everything pointed to the north side. And in this case, are we already at prior time highs? Very, very close here. Very, very close. Overall, this is, well, you don't need me to tell you that that's fucking bullish, man. So, where would your invalidation be on something like this? Again, I want to reiterate a very strong stance that I have that if you're going to be like actually trading something, it's better to look at the actual chart itself and not at total market cap. But in this case, I mean, this one's valid as long as you're above about 2.3 trillion, that is. Fucking trillions, huh? Anyways, next things next. Would you agree AXS is looking tasty on the 12-hour? I'm on the fence due to low volume. Okay, well, let's check it out. AXS USD. Low volume in and of itself isn't really going to tell me too much, but let's see. What are we looking at right here? Again, you have your setups, right? So $100 is kind of still where I have a baseline on this one. As long as you're above there, I do look at this as just a nice healthy consolidation at a high level. You expect volume to be curtailing after something like that, as that does indicate that we're in a consolidation. Also further verified by contracting BBWP over here as well. So generally speaking, I actually do remain bullish on this one as long as you're above about $1.05 or just $100 even on a 12-hour or daily. If you're just looking at it, I don't know exactly why. I mean, we could use a 12-hour daily on this one. They're basically the same fucking chart at this point. Same base, and I'd be looking for this one to trade a bit more sideways, to be honest with you. Before the next sort of potential major move on this one has just been so fucking insane. Holy shit. I suppose that I still have to remain bullish on this thing long term, and I would stand by being bullish on it long term. It's just I suspect that you're going to be going a little bit more sideways right here. In fact, this would be a good one to record as well. So I'm gonna finish off this coffee, and then we'll do a general overview on this one. It's good. It's real good. What are you lolling about? What are you lolling about? So rude. So lol. Fucking rude. Fucking rude. All right, here we have Axie Infinity symbol AXS versus the dollar. And what do we have? We have perhaps one of the most impressive charts in cryptocurrency over the past year. Very, 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 very nice one. We've been bullish on this one for quite some time, and on the higher term time frames, still have to be bullish on this thing. I don't have to be, but I will be happily bullish on a chart that looks like this. We have a pretty obvious setup here as well. Now, while I don't think that this one's necessarily ready to move like today, for example, we do have a setup right here with a base right around $1.05. And as long as this thing's closing daily dildos or 12-hour dildos above $1.05, I do look for this one to put in yet again another healthy consolidation between $1.05 and $1.37, maybe even lower that down a little bit if you want to be slightly more aggressive. And as we do see this consolidation kind of go onwards and forwards, BBWP on both the daily and 12-hour are trending close to single-digit percentiles. So I would say that this is first and foremost going to be considered, at least by myself, a healthy consolidation, very likely with an upside resolution confirmed above about $1.38. And in this case, I'd be looking for a retest of your all-time highs and very likely new all-time highs, probably more the fucking same on this thing. It's one of the only crypto projects that actually has, a working product that people actually use, even if it is kind of a shitty game. But sorry, but it's not like, it's no fucking Half-Life Alex, I'll tell you that, man. But overall, right here, even short-term momentum oscillators are pointed towards a little bit of short-term upside. $1.29 to $1.30 is kind of where I'd be looking towards. Overall, again, one of the best charts in cryptocurrency land. I look at this as healthy first and foremost. The only way that I switch around my mind on this one, Mr. Josh, is below $1.05. $1.05 is my line in the sand on this one. Below there, looking for big moves down below probably 80 to 75 bucks. Until then, looking pretty damn good, and sideways is probably the name of the game for maybe another week or two, and then very likely an upside resolution on first pass, assuming that those conditions are met. Overall, again, have to be respectful of a phenomenally impressive chart here. That's fucking insane. That's even more insane. And I will cut it off right there. Enjoy. Or actually, we should talk about some potential upside targets on a continuation phase, I suppose. We do have an obvious trading range right here. So if Bitcoin, if Axie does take out the prior high on a closing basis, that's going to be about $1.37. I would look for a nice move to about $1.50 to $1.55. Very likely a short-term pullback there, and then perhaps more targets to the upside after that. We'll come back to that one obviously later. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Axie Infinity, sir. King Cosmic, there he is. There he fucking is, man. We missed you yesterday, but I got your SPY anyways because I can read your fucking mind, man. And what did we get? We got our test back down around the prior lows. And so far, so good. I'd probably be looking for this one too. Yeah, I'd probably be looking for this one to actually try a little bit of upside here today. 43.80 or so looks okay. Invalidation below about 43.60 in this case. And with that in mind, do we have a bit of a higher low in the making on the daily here? Yeah, we very likely could. How would you confirm a higher low? Daily back above 43.90, 43.90 in this case, and then I'd extend targets significantly more. You might even call this an inverted head and shoulders. I would not play that move in this case. I'd just be looking for a move back up somewhere around about 44.45 to 44.50 or so, and then come back to it after that. Obviously, the weekly is going to be having some nice and healthy bounces right here. Looks like we got our first local low on the weekly for right now. And I'd probably be looking for this one to try some upside coming into next week. And then, play the game of, is this a lower high or not? Because anything below about 4,500 especially is just another lower high. Where would I get immediately bearish on this one yet again? Back below 43.50. Don't necessarily think, I do think that this one tries a little bit of short-term upside first before anything else, but that would make me bearish on this one yet again, looking for another drive towards the current lows, just below 43, and then very likely breaks those lows coming into next week if that were to happen. But for right now, looking okay for some short-term up. What's up, Matt Rudeledge? T-King, if you can get the chart. Again, we can't get the chart. It's the same thing as yesterday, man. Again, way too fucking new and also too much of a shitcoin, I suspect. But TradingView does not have it, unfortunately. If not, how about Eurus? Okay, let's try this one. Eurus. All right. Well, it's there, so it exists. On TradingView at least. No time frames given, so I'm just gonna roll with this one, baby. And so what do we see right here? Hidden bearish divergence on the 4-hour, probably coming back down somewhere around about 23 cents or so. Give it a chance to bounce there. I wouldn't get too bearish on this one as long as you're above 23 cents, especially on a daily. If you do start to lose that region, I'm looking towards 1.7 cent, maybe 1.8 cent. Until then, sideways is the name of the game here with short-term down. What's up, Legend Ali Z's? I need financial advice. I have nothing to give in that regard, sir. AMD daily weekly 120 by end of stream. Oh dear lord. Well, it's not even trading right now, so probably not. It's looking good though, man. It's looking good. So I remember you asked about this one maybe late last week, and I switched around to probably bullish on this one, seeing as it did hold $100. Do I think it's going to $120 by end of stream? No, but perhaps in the next couple of weeks here, I'd be looking for a retest of your August highs, actually. You have a pretty damn good setup right here. Again, bullish, very, very bullish as long as you're above $100. This one's obviously fundamentally bullish as well with the whole supply crunch and everything. You got the old supply and demand dynamics at play here. 4-hour is an obvious reversal off the lows as well. Looking for short term, yeah, somewhere around 112.5 to 115 or so. It's good. It's good, man. It's very, very good. Should I convert my Microsoft November calls into AMD? Do you mean trade? Do you mean fucking trade, sir? Oh my God, learn what you're doing. Oh, dear Lord, I hate it. It's a very big pet peeve of mine when people say, should I convert my cryptocurrency? Should I convert my Bitcoin to Ethereum? Shut the fuck up! Shut up! It's called trading, you fuck! Do you also call your charts graphs? Oh, man! Oh, I'm getting pissed off today. Motherfucker! If you call Dildo Candle, I don't even know who the fuck you are anymore. Should I convert my Microsoft November calls into AMD? God damn it, Ali! God damn it. My bearish counter spread on NAS. You want to look at Microsoft really quickly. Which one's more bullish is basically the question. I mean, AMD is looking good. Microsoft, they're both good, man. They're both good. I think that AMD is a little bit of a better chart. It's more constructive right now, but the question is, which chart do you like more? Do you like gold, or do you like gold plus, I don't know, a sparkle on top of it? And that's kind of the way that I see them right now. I mean, those are some of the best charts in the world right now. Even Microsoft looks like it wants to put in a local low right here. I do think that Microsoft is a little bit more potentially toppy, however. AMD is a lot more constructive for right now. Shibley says, good morning, King. I'm just crowned, man. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. Can we please take a look at BDX? Okay, BDX. Is this what I think it is? No, it's not. Okay, it's not. Yeah. Let's see. What do we have here? And what time frames are you looking at? On the daily. Okay, got it. I'm on the weekly right now. Apologies. Weekly's more bouncy. Daily probably grinds out the lows one more time. I do think that this one's going to bounce one more time off of these regions, regardless of whether you're bullish or bearish. You know, probably gives another try back up towards 245, 250-ish region. Other than that, I don't really have any long-term opinions on a chart like this. I am more inclined to say that this one's probably long-term toppy, though. Yeah, I do think you're probably going to bounce here, but long-term, I suspect that this one is pretty fucking toppy. Any rally on this next move up that fails to get back above 255 should probably do it. But again, short-term bouncy, long-term does look rather toppy to me. So confirmation of a major monthly top in this case would be back below about 229. And at that point, this thing's going to fucking get shredded to the downside. I'd be looking for this thing to come well below $200, probably towards 150 over like a year or so. Be pretty nasty right there. What's up, Gemini Athlete MMA? Excellent 4-hour and daily. All right, let's see. I got it under Stellar over here, STR. We're looking at a 4-hour daily. 4-hour breaking out of a little bit of a falling channel right there, looking like it kind of want to follow the rest of the market. Probably looking at a move. Actually, kind of already got the move to 39 cents, but overall, you're right at the daily 200 right here. I'd be using this as the next pivot. Any sort of a daily closure above this region, I'm looking for a retest of your September highs. Probably does take out that high over time after a little bit of a short-term pullback. Overall, the setup is there. You got a golden cross that will inevitably be coming as long as this thing is trading, especially above 35 cents. I'd feel very comfortable saying that this thing's going to have a nice move. Again, 35-cent base, invalidation below there. On top of that, momentum oscillators are more in a bullish posturing. You do got your weekly higher low in place as well. So dare I say, I like this one. Yeah, I do think that this one's actually going to perform rather well. We see a lot of things putting in some higher lows. Oh, god damn it, it's Wally. What's up, Wally? It's the pesky youngin'. Go back to studying. Stop spending your fucking time on Discord talking shit. It's all good, man. I'm just giving you some shit. Badger 4-hour. By the way, Badger is a coin to help make using Bitcoin easier. Sounds like bullshit. We need a coin to make Bitcoin easier. It's like, what the fuck? All right, well, sir. Well, it's not a bad chart right here, to be fair. Let's see, what time frames are you looking at here? 4-hour. All right, 4 hours probably good. Yeah, I mean, this is the point of the market where everything's kind of being generous, so it's like you can't really be bearish on anything unless if Bitcoin really shits the bed here. I do suspect that you probably pull back a little bit, maybe down to like 33.5, 33.80 or so. This one very likely does work its way upwards and onwards from there. However, 4-hour is sloppy, but sloppy up is kind of what I'd be looking for. And validation below about $32, man. I like it though, man. You're very motivated, very excited, youngin', sir. Just it's interesting, man. Well, fair enough. You know, let's just leave it at that, man. Let's just leave it at that. Hopefully that does serve you well. And there you go for Badger, man. There you go for fucking Badger is gonna make Bitcoin easy. What? How that sounds a lot like traditional market bullshit. Just kind of making things more confusing than they need to be, so that they can take some management fees from you. Anyways, I'd be curious to hear like what the fuck that thing actually does, because that sounds questionable to me. And again, maybe I'm just a boomer who has too many opinions. Perhaps that's probably exactly what's going on. What's up, Sushi? Was doing your trends video as the breakout happened. Nice. And earned about validating and learned about validating the breakout right as it happened. Nice. It felt awesome. There you go, man. Yeah, you know, this is probably not the best environment to be learning in right now, just because things are going to be more on the easy side. But hey, yeah, there you go. You know, at least you can see it in front of your very eyes. I suspect that when things are more on the easy side, might as well take advantage of it, because there's no reason not to, and trading's already fucking hard enough, so might as well make it a little bit easier on yourself if you can. What's up, Jack? There he is. Business as usual. All right, so I'm guessing it's Ethereum Bitcoin, or are we looking at Ethereum, or just looking at let's just look at fucking everything, huh? Let's look at Ethereum Bitcoin first. We did call a bounce off the lows from yesterday. I'd still say that this one wants to bounce here, somewhere around 6.5 million Satoshis. I do think that it could even get as far as 6.8 million Satoshis on a daily. Not necessarily today is what I'm saying, but like over the next week or two. However, do be cognizant that is where your lower highs are coming in. So if this rally does have a little bit of legs, which I suspect that it does, then I'd be a little bit cautious within that region. You know, could you be putting in a higher low here on the weekly? Definitely possible. You would also have hidden bullish divergence confirmed on the weekly as well, but that's pretty well and far away still. As long as this thing's closing weekly does below 6.5 million Satoshis, remain a bit more on the cautious side, perhaps looking at a correction lower, somewhere down around 5.8 million Satoshis, tentatively speaking. But for right now, short term, yeah, upside, man. Looking good. Looking good right there. So let's also just knock Ethereum out right now as well, because I should probably record a video on that one. Oh, man. That one was building too. What's so funny about that? All right, here we have Ethereum versus the dollar with your old burps in my face as well. What do we see on the 5-day? We do see that the 5-day is looking like we might have a bit of engulfing action going on. Any sort of a trade back above the last 5-day high, which was 36.71, of which we came just less than $10 short of on this last little rally overnight. I would be looking for continuation over the next 5 to 10 days, somewhere around your prior highs from early September. That's just below $4,000. We're looking at a daily right here. What do things look like? Well, we do see daily BBWP is on the ever-loving floor. This is what has precipitated most major dumps and major pumps in the past. We're talking about the last time we saw it to the upside right here for a 25% move relatively quickly. This one over here getting the last major downside move, about 21%. This one over here getting some beautiful lows. I mean, that one just going onwards and upwards. So I do expect that we are getting ready for a move right now. Momentum oscillators are in a more bullish posturing for what it's worth, and we could come up with some short-term ranges here too, as we do see 4-hour BBWP start to lift off as well. So very, very short-term. Does this thing pull back a little bit? Probably yes. Wouldn't mind a pull back down to 3,600 base or and whatnot. But I'm essentially biased towards the upside on this one. Let's actually not say 36. Let's go 35.75 on an hourly. I'm biased towards this one continuation of current trend. Which in all time frames is actually to the upside right now. So that is good confluence. And generally speaking, I would be looking for any sort of a takeout of last week's high, which again, we came about a little bit less than $10 short of, with continuation somewhere around about $4,000 over the next 5, maybe even 10 days. And then technically speaking, we do have a measured move here as well, pointed up towards around your prior all-time high in this case. That looked pretty damn good. Obviously going to play with Bitcoin here as well, but invalidation on the short-term timeframes below 35.75 on an hourly, that would make me invalidate this whole idea, at least for the time being. Until then, things are looking more or less good. Probably a little bit of short-term ebb and flow here, probably with a little bit of short-term downside. I'm curious to see what we look like from this angle as well, just out of general curiosity. And what do you know? 5-day Stokes will actually pop back up with a closure above 35.25, currently trading more than $100 above that right now. Daily is freshly up above 36.20, so that does suggest that we probably can, if we are going to see this move, it very likely happens today. Or intraday today, maybe at latest tomorrow. 4-hour is freshly up above 34.60 as well, and hourly is flippy floppy at 36.40. So very, 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 very short term ebbs and flows here. Probably does try out a little bit of downside. Extremely short term, but again, assuming that downside doesn't bring us back down below about 35.70, I do look for that to be just, again, your next higher low before further continuations. In this case, to the upside, man. No more complicated than that. Looking good for Ethereum as led by Bitcoin, and hopefully that was helpful, sir. There you go, man. Let's see. Dan Daya says, hey, Crown, how's Ethereum? Oh my God. Jack and Dan, like right next to each other. Holy shit. Sorry about that, man. Well, I guess we just got both of those, so good. What's up, Allegio Villa, my exotically named friend? Holy shit, man. That is, what? Are you Italian or Spanish? I think that's more Italian than anything. Anyways, best of the best to you as well, sir. Celo on Coinbase. Let's just actually go with the chart that has more history here. CELO, USD. Go to Binance, I expect, for this one. Yeah, looking good on this one, man. Looking good, sir. Looking good, baby. Looking real fucking good. I want to see how this progress goes. Anyways, here we have Celo, symbol CELO, looking good on the 4-hour for a little bit of your next local low confirmation. And I would be looking for this one to work its way back up towards 650. I believe we did call a correction down here at the end of last week to just around $5. We got that correction. That is just your next higher low. This one's looking very good. Should be another drive of hidden bullish divergence. BBWP expanding off the lows. I like it, man. I like it. Short term on a 4-hour, looking for a move back up towards 650 or so. Invalidation on this one with the 4-hour closure below about 685 in this case. Until then, I suspect that this one's joining the rest of the market and continuing on with its general trends here. In this case, big areas of interest around $7.50, perhaps 5 to 10 days down the road here. 5-day also looking good for what it's worth. I mean, it's looking good, man. It's looking generally good here. So hopefully that was helpful. Most things in this market being very generous right now. I'll put it that way. Again, invalidation below 585. Until that happens, looking nice and strong with short-term, medium-term, and long-term upside implied. Nice one, sir. Mario says, looking at ACB cannabis for Looking at ACB cannabis for a major low. Okay, let's check it out. All right, this is Aurora, right? Yeah, this one was super popular in like 2017. Man, I need to fucking pee. Let's see. Okay, what are we looking for right here? You're saying for a major low. All right, in that case, I want to be going to a weekly. I mean, this is just a garbage piece of shit chart right here. This is, you know, if you saw this in cryptocurrency land, you would look at this as actually maybe a good time to buy for a potential next pump and dump. But in this case right here, I mean, this thing does trade on traditional markets. I despise charts like this, and you know, is it going to put in a major low here? Probably at some point you're going to see another pump off this region. Might even get back up to like your mid 50s. Definitely possible, but when does that actually happen? I'd give it some more time actually. I really wouldn't be looking for any sort of macro lows until we see BBWP flatline in the single digits for like, you know, a few weeks minimum in this case. And then yeah, maybe you do see another pump phase, but the short story is, man, is this just a fucking garbage chart? Like you don't need to trade something like this. And this one can spend a lot more time at the lows as well. So is it going to put in like a major low here? Probably yes. But if you're thinking about opportunity costs, this is, at least in my opinion, not the time to be looking at it for what it's worth. So I think you're going to be right. It's just, are you going to be early at the same time as well? Probably yes. And that to me is dead money. Again, depends on what time frame you're looking at, but I expect that you're on the higher term time frames there. All right, Matt Ruler is back. He says, I put 10,000 into TKing two weeks ago. It's now worth almost 80,000. Nice. And I'd like to spend it $5 at a time, sending you super chats. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. And fair trade. And congratulations, man. That is, hey, that's for 2 weeks in 8x is certainly nothing to be balked at, man. That is fucking impressive, man. Nicely done. See, that's what I get to miss out because I'm a little bit of a maxi over here. But let's see. I'm actually curious to know, like, is there actual exit liquidity on something like that? Just out of curiosity, man. But hey, congratulations. At the end of the day, that is really, 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 really impressive, man. I mean, that's excellent, man. Happy for you. What's up, Amadeo Ciano? You're back. All right, man. Doggy Daily Weekly. Sure. Let's go check this one out. The old dog shit coins over here. And let's see where they're at right now. Dogecoin, again, being a perfect example of a weak piece of shit that you expect in this market. Probably going to follow the rest of the market, obviously. And we should probably record a video on this one as well. So here we go. Here we have doggy symbol DOGE versus the dollar, and we have a phenomenal laggard within this market. Now, with that said, if I'm going to be bullish on Bitcoin, can I be bearish on Dogecoin? Absolutely, or I wouldn't say absolutely fucking not, but very unlikely not. No, it's just very, very weak here. Definitely a laggard, and definitely one of the most unimpressive charts that we're probably going to see today, unfortunately. I'm probably going to, I say that at the behest of maybe pissing off a lot of the Dogecoin crews. But, is it going to follow through here? Very likely, yes. Probably does trade back up to a quarter, somewhere around 25, maybe 25.50 or so. And invalidation on this one, as long as you're above about 22.75 in this case. Weekly, do we have some hidden bullish evidence here? Yes, we do. God damn it. There we go. Yes, we do. So I would be looking for this one to follow through, and probably does work its way back up north of 30 cents over the next month or two. But it's a laggard right now. So have to be asking yourself, would you be better off in something else? Well, you probably know my answer on that one. If you do start to take out 22, let's just call it 22.5 cent to the downside, I would be looking for another run just below 20 cents, somewhere around 19 cent low coming in from late September in this case. Until then, a laggard, but probably going to follow just a lot less impressive as we do have, momentum monsters are pointing towards some upside right here. I wouldn't get excited about this thing from a long-term perspective as long as you're below about 35 cent in this case, just this last rejective high from middle of August. And at that point, this thing probably runs again. But here's the thing, Dogecoin is actually really, really worthwhile to watch for the simple fact that it's typically going to call the end of cycle because when this thing starts to pump, that is typically a sign of end times. The end times are near. I mean, for example, right here, where did Dogecoin make its highs? May. Where did the market make its highs? Right after that in April, May region, late May in that case. So Dogecoin, worth watching, but definitely a laggard here. Not my favorite trade of all time, and hopefully that was helpful in some regard. There you go, sir. All right, what else do we got over here? Mr. G. Ohana says ZCX, hourly and 4 hour and daily. Okay. All right, so this is Unizin CX. Yeah, there we go. We'll do this one versus the dollar, and actually really good on the weekly, so I expect that the daily is going to be good as well. It is hidden bullish divergence off that last low, looking for a move probably towards 645, 650 or so. 4-hour continuation, invalidation on the short term below about 569. Hourly, same thing basically. Let's just call it 570 in this case. Short term, a little bit, very, very short term, like on the hourly, a little bit toppy here. BBWP is redlining, so I would be looking for this one to probably trade back down just south of $6, but ultimately, all higher term timeframes looking for continuation. You know, generally good chart right here. Generally just goes up and, well, definitely respectable. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go, Mr. Giohana. What's up, Legend? God damn it. Oh, god damn it. God damn it. Oh. The rage is building, man. The rage is building. The rage is fucking building. Oh, shit. I have to keep my heart calm because my blood pressure is high, sir. Hello, Mr. Rolando. Mr. Rolando B. Good morning to you as well, sir. BRD bread, 4-hour and daily. Sure, man. Sure. I'm trying. Be still, my heart. I'm trying to not get a heart attack today. What do we see over here? 4-hour and daily. Daily looks like it's put in a nice major low here. Probably gonna be better seen on a weekly. Long term, absolute dog shit of a chart. Probably it's very, very similar to Dogecoin, just not very interesting. In fact, actually, no, it's not similar to Dogecoin. This one is significantly shittier than Dogecoin. This one only goes down for the last 3 years. Man, I think we actually have the shittiest chart of the day. In fact, the shittiest chart of the day award goes to Bread, BRD token. Go fuck yourself, sir. Sorry, not you, Mr. Rolando, but this chart can go fuck itself, man. I love to talk shit about charts, not about people, however. Does this one get to fall in the rest of the markets? Probably yes. You know, I think you might get another move towards 21.5, maybe even 22 cents. On this thing. In fact, daily says yes as well. This thing probably enters into another pump up phase, but look at this thing, man. All rallies fail. This thing has never put in a macro uptrend ever. This thing is absolute fucking garbage. You are playing the pump and dump game, which is fair enough. I mean, maybe you want to play that game, at which point I'm not here to be your fucking dad, man, but just be aware of what game that you are playing, because very difficult to get excited about this, about anything like this long term. Now, I can tell you where I would start to get excited for another like general decent sized pump up phase would be back up about a quarter on a daily closure. I'd be looking for this one to retest around its April-May highs perhaps. But long term, man, all rallies fail. There is, in my opinion, and again, this is a personal opinion here, zero reason to trade any bullshit that looks like this ever, especially in a market that's being incredibly generous right now. This is just a fucking god-awful chart. Short term probably comes back down to like 18.75, maybe 18.5 cents or so. Invalidation on daily upside would be had basically below that same 18 cent level or so. But goddamn, man, like, why? What is the obsession with the chart that looks like this? Why? I'm genuinely curious. I'm genuinely curious, man. What's up, Kyle A? My girlfriend worked for Fly Emirates for 9 years. They'll confiscate the dildo. Really? Okay, so they actually will take away the dildo. What? It's a weapon, sir. That is so strange, man. All right, well, fair enough. Well, well, Dubai has a lot of cool things, it looks like, from the pictures. Maybe some things are a little bit of a take back there as well. Fair enough. I do appreciate the information though, because that would have been a very awkward conversation. Anyways, what's up, Crystalisa? Dr. Crown, your hair looks lovely. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You make me not want to cry myself to sleep every night. Some of the comments, man, are just mean. Some of the comments are very mean. Man, I gotta say, like, now there's, before the videos even start, before I even can go into my own video, like once I post it for these live streams, there's 3 people now who just, like, before the video even starts, which is amazing because 3 people have, I guess, made it like their life's, or at least their or at least it means enough to them to set an alarm just for these videos, just to go dislike them before they even begin. Man, like, I just want to know, like, what's well, actually maybe I don't want to know, but fair enough. What if you hide it to your boobs? Well, they do have x-rays there, and sir, what the fuck? What if I hide it to my boobs? I don't know. What if I put it in my asshole? Who the hell knows what's going to happen there? I don't want to use it after that. Fair enough. All right, let's see what we got over here. We're looking at symbol XTZ. This one, again, long-term good. I do like this chart long-term, obviously. It generally goes up in comparison to the last BRD chart, which just generally only goes down. However, is this one ready to follow the rest of the market like right now? It does look a little bit weaker in the short-term timeframes for what it's worth. I would say any sort of a closure on a 4-hour dildo below about basically 713, kind of where we're at right now. I would be looking for another retest of your lows from 12th of October right here at about 675 and probably another base being built right around there. Until then, I suppose, you could be a little more optimistic on it with confirmation for another short-term upside move above 735. Probably looking at a move somewhere around about $8 after that. Personally speaking, I do think that this one ranges on the lows a little bit more, and coming back down at 670 or 675 is completely fine as long as just you not break it on really any relevant time frame. Long term, I'm always going to like a chart like this. Just the question is, are we ready to go from here like right now? I am inclined to say probably not. No. I probably want to see BBWP flatline a little bit more on the daily before I see another major uptrending move. For right now, I think that this one's consolidating. But again, one of the better charts that we have seen today, and this one was moving while many other things were not. So I expect that we're seeing rotations going on here. And if I did call it, I'd actually be looking for short-term down here. But again, I'd really want to see it actually confirm below 713 first. Hourly. So yeah, same thing here, man. Same thing. I'm not getting anything like too obvious for what it's worth right now, which I understand that's not too helpful. But long-term, very good. The question is, does it grind at the lows yet again? It would just be so much more obvious if it did come back down to like 650 or so. That'd look really, really good to me for a nice potential long-term low. Until then, I'd kind of just monitor this one over the next week. I don't think there's too much interesting things to be speaking about of it right now. Anyways, let me take a sippy sip of this water. Holy shit. I just picked out a random comment here. Totora Cologne says some guy from the United Kingdom got arrested for CBD oil, which, by the way, if you don't know, CBD oil is not psychoactive. It doesn't really do all that much except for kind of make you feel relaxed from what I understand. And he got 25 years in, I'm guessing, jail or prison in Dubai. That is, oh my God. Holy shit. Better be on your best behavior, sir. What's up, Gohan's mom? Polkadot, please. 4-hour daily weekly. Sure, let's do it. I remember this one was looking pretty damn good yesterday, so let's see where she is today. Looking very good today, actually. Looking very, very good. Here we have Polkadot, symbol DOT versus the dollar. I believe we looked at this one yesterday and we said up, and likely away, and I think we certainly hit whatever our short-term target was, probably at around $40. I do suspect that this one is going to lead towards more long-term continuation, probably looking at the next major region at about $45.50. Weekly, powerful, good reversal on the weekly. 5 days, same thing as well. And I'm actually bullish on pretty much all time frames here. Short-term time frames, like a 4-hour, do I think that we can come back down to $39? Yep, no problem there. But as long as you are above about 38.5, especially even on like a 4-hour closure in this case, I look at this as bullish on pretty much all time frames, actually. With very likely to make a move up towards, your mid to upper, well, probably more like your upper 40s in this case. And, at that point, does this thing just continue onwards and upwards towards new all-time highs? Probably yes. You have a very constructive chart here. Went through about a 3 to 4 month long consolidation. It's good, man. It's good. And the market's being very generous right now. So hopefully that is helpful. We could maybe come up with some areas of interest towards the upside if this thing does break its all-time high. In this case, let's just take a little bit more of a muted one right here. I'm going to do this. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, $50 going to be a big area of interest. Probably would be looking for a decent sized pullback from there. Probably another consolidation as well. Long term, if it breaks the highs, probably looking towards north of $60 or so. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for the DOT, the dot. Nice one. What's up, huge ass titties? God damn it. Can you pull up the graph on short to long term for breasts? Thinking of converting my USD for some. Thank you for financial advice. Oh dear Lord. Oh dear Lord. Oh dear Lord. I still love huge ass titties though, man. What's up, John Del Rubio? Can you check out Cardano? Sure. Yeah. Where's my Derpio here? Derpio, where art thou, Derpio? Is this one going to pull through or not? I think that it is going to. Oh, Jesus Christ. I do think that it is going to pull through here. I mean, you got several tests to the downside at that $2 region. It's had plenty of chances to break down here. Every time it kind of gets bought back on up. 12-hour looks like a higher low to me. I'd be running with that. Very easy setup as well, as long as you're above 210 in this case. As long as you're above 210, you know, I do treat this as a higher low and very likely short term to give a try up towards about 232. Above there, I'd be looking for that next run up around your prior wick highs of the prior range, about 250 or so. And, you know, at that point, it probably salvages itself. Again, very likely to follow the rest of the market, but technically speaking, on a daily range bound between about 240 and $2. Personally speaking, I do think this one's going to follow through to the upside, but, you know, below $2 obviously goes without saying very bad. Looking for a move down about 169 or so after that. Until then, sideways above $2 is more or less constructive. I just don't think it's necessarily ready to move like just yet. I think this one's again going to be a little bit more of a boring one for the time to come, and probably follow maybe a little bit later. What's up, Jaws? Is it Jaws or Yaz? Koshel? Hopefully I'm saying that properly. Tesla, please. Sure. So I remember last time I looked at Tesla, I was pretty damn bullish on it. Let's see if that was warranted, and I think so. Yes. Looking good here, man. Looking pretty damn good. So those magical lines still working. Nice. BBWP is absolutely on the floor right here. So we probably are looking at a move, maybe even this week, perhaps next week, but all higher term time frames are bullish here. I do generally look for this one to retest around prior time highs like 869, 870-ish region. Technically speaking, we do have a measure move based off of this reaccumulation formation, which is pointed a little bit higher north of $900. To put it bluntly, I'm bullish on this thing. It kind of more of a question of when moon on this one. Monthly says probably later this month, early November perhaps. All time frames, all higher term time frames bullish. Short term time frames, do we play to pull back down to like 790, 795? Very, very possible, yes, but I don't know if that's necessarily what you're interested in because you did not include any time frames. I'm essentially bullish on this one for basically continuation of your prior all-time highs and probably new all-time highs. Invalidation below about 780 on a daily. As long as you're above there, generally good. What's up, Christina Maria? Christina Maria, that actually rolls right off the tongue. Spell, please. Okay, spell. All right. Is this the thing? It is a thing. All right, it's a thing. Oh yeah, that's right. This thing has no history, so fucking goddamn it. Maybe go to sushi derp over here. We can look at it versus Ethereum. Probably gonna be a weird chart. Yeah, I'd actually be looking for this one to come back down. Yeah, we looked at this one yesterday. I think I said down to about 30,000 butyrols or whatever. I'd still be saying that here as well. I don't like this chart versus Ethereum, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad versus dollar. It's just not outpacing Ethereum. I would be looking for next move down, ma'am. All sorts of downside signatures on a momentum oscillators, volatility rising, and we do have a short-term downtrend here as well. Yeah, I'm looking for next move down, somewhere down around about 30,000 butyrols there. I'm wondering if it will come down to the just below 1 cent. I don't know what this compares to because again, the dollar ratio over here is this is just completely unhelpful as a chart. If I did have to call it, do I think it's going to continue down from here? Yeah. I mean, if you really wanted to look at an hourly and you put a gun in my head and said, Crown, give me a fucking analysis or die, I probably wouldn't like that, but do I think it's coming lower than a cent? Yeah, I think it's coming somewhere down around there. I mean, technically, you do have a bit of an inverted cup and handle right there. I'm not a big fan of those formations in cryptocurrency, especially. For what it's worth, I'm bearish on both charts, so I do think it's going to come down somewhere around there. I'm not necessarily convinced that one's going to hold up there as well, though. So fair enough. Looking for a better entry for 1 to 6 months hold. Problem is, if you're asking someone like me, with like a six month like time frame based off of a chart that only has 3 days of history, I don't think that way. So that's something for you to answer, but it sounds like you probably have your own ideas, and fair enough. If I'm just looking at the Ethereum chart, not the most interesting chart of all time. Eric Perkins says, can you fib my Elon Dogecoin? God damn it. All right, we can go look at Elon Derp coin over here. Dog Elon. I can't fucking believe this shit. It is bullish though. Holy shit. It's actually really bullish, in fact. Can you fib it? Yeah, I can fib it. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got right here. We are past the 1618, so this one's actually, oh my god, man, this thing's gonna go past 300. Motherfucker, man, that is insane. This feels wrong, sir. This feels wrong. But hey, if this feels wrong, then I don't want to be right, because this thing's, I guess still bullish. It's bullish on all time frames, basically. This thing's trending right now. Invalidation below like 220, but that's so fucking far away, it's not even relevant right now. What's up, Patrick S? DYDX on the 12-hour and daily? Sure. DYDX, okay. Maybe this one? This one? Okay, cool. Yeah, this one's fine. Let's see, 12-hour and daily. Not much of a 12-hour to go over when, you know, you have like less than a month of history or just around a month of history. I would be looking for this one to put in a bit of a local low right here. Does it get another drive down to like 21 or even $20 even? Possible, yes, but I like this one a lot, especially as long as you're above, you know, this on a closing basis, and that's going to be like 20 and a half or so. I know you didn't ask about a 4-hour, but 4-hour kind of looks a little more obvious to myself, and it does look like it's putting a bit of a local low right now. Probably does make a move up towards 24 and a half, maybe $25. Daily, generally good for the history that we do have. I'd probably be looking for that one to continue onwards and upwards again in validation below about 20 and a half bucks. Until then, this thing is, you know, sideways and up on that chart, looking good for what it's worth. Again, KT says, if Bitcoin is going to hit 120,000 bucks by year end, I don't know where you're getting by year end. Why does it need to be by year end? You know, perhaps you're getting this from my analysis where I was saying I do expect the top of this cycle somewhere around 110 to 130,000 bucks. If you're getting it from me, there is no time frame on that for what it's worth. If you're getting that from someone else by year end, I would say there's no rule that things need to happen by year end. I'd really be careful about that sort of an analysis. Which are the top 3 coins to hold today? Which are the top 3 coins to hold today? I mean, you're going to want to go with the strong ones right now, right? I mean, I really don't like giving out directed things like this because this is quite literally financial advice, and I'm not a fucking financial advisor. For the most part, you know, if Bitcoin's going to be, or if you're running with the assumption that Bitcoin's going to be around 100,000 bucks, really not going to matter too much which shit coins you go with, honestly. Typically speaking, the more scammy they are, the harder that they pump for what it's worth. You know, I hate to say it, but it is true. If you want to go with the tried and true ones, go with the ones that, you know, have been around for like 5+ years minimum. But other than that, it's kind of hard to go. Dare I say this? Like, I shouldn't even say this, but the market's so fucking generous right now. It's kind of, it's one of those times where like you can just be a fucking monkey. You can be a fucking hamster running on a goddamn wheel, picking charts, and you're probably going to be fine for what it's worth. You know, as long as Bitcoin's bullish, you're probably going to see most shitcoins pump. So which top 3 coins to hold, whichever ones you want, really. Yeah, there's going to be some shitcoins out there. Obviously, we've certainly seen some shitcoin charts today, but just go with the good, just go with the general long-term good ones. Like those ones are most likely to actually hold up alongside Bitcoin. Like, would you go with the Litecoin chart? No, fuck no. This one's a laggard. Like, it's it's barely following. That's not a good sign. You want to go with the ones that have been strong the whole way through. Those are the ones that typically get rewarded the most. Just a general saying that I like to go off of that I learned from my mentor is the strong get stronger and the weak get weaker. Go with the strong ones. Probably going to be a lot easier on the soul as well, but fair enough. Speaking of, Mr. Tony Johnson brings up Solana. Yeah, we can look at Solana. That would be an example of one of the strong ones. But if I recall, this one's probably still just ranging here. Still overall good. Still overall very, very good. We get our move down somewhere around about $1.40. Yeah, we got just around there, actually. This one looking like it's put in a little bit of a local low right now. I'd be looking for this one to trade back up towards 160 plus or so. 4-hour invalidation below about $1.46 or so. Until then, path of least resistance to the upside. Regular bullish evidence come off the last low, actually, and 4-hour jewel about to get a nice signal to the upside as well, probably looking towards 160 medium term. Daily, again, very very good long term, as long as you're above about $1.30. That's kind of my invalidation for this one, looking very bullish long term, actually. Just hard to get excited about this thing as long as you're below about $1.80 long term. Above there, I'm looking for new all-time highs. Until then, sideways is good for the Bulas. Sikander says, I thought you didn't care if we disliked, so I did it as a joke. Oh no, I don't care if you dislike. I just think it's funny that people set like an alarm to go and dislike the video as soon as it starts. Like, whoa, that's it's like, goddamn, man, that's intense, man. That's intense. Anyways, fair enough, man. People are free to do whatever they want to do, right? Slothbag said, Slothbag. Hello, Slothbag. I am Sleuthbag. Can you look at AMP daily, weekly? Sure. Yeah, this one hasn't been called out in like a month now. This one was super popular about a couple months ago, and I suspect I know why. Chart's falling apart right here. Probably looking at another move back down towards 4.3 cent around your prior lows. Yeah, not a big fan of this chart. I think at best it'll put another low in around your low 4 cent region, but I do expect that you're going to test around there again. And at best, this one probably goes sideways from there. If it starts to break below 4 cent, I'm looking for this one to go for the full retrace back down to, 2.5 cent perhaps. Not super interesting at the chart right here. I would get bullish on this one for medium term, back above about 5.4 cent. Until then, getting a lot more downside signatures than not, man. Again, when in the discussion of relatively strong and relatively weak, this one's relatively weak. At best, it's going sideways. At worst, you actually break that region, and then, well, down we go, sir. What's up, Ben Woods? Hey, man, appreciate that. Can you please review high and low time frame for SRM? Okay, another Sam coin over here. Sure, yeah, let's go check it out. And let me see how many videos I have. Maybe I recorded one on this one. I haven't done one for Serum in a while. Let's see. Too many. 1, 2, 3, 5. We could do one, I guess. It's not it's not super interesting of a chart, but kind of an easy chart at the same time. All right, here we have Serum, symbol SRM versus the dollar, and what do we have? Does look like it is trying to put in a big base right around the 7.25 region right here. Got a few more tests down to the 200. That's completely fine. As long as you're above there, I do look at this as very likely reaccumulating and getting ready for a move back up, $10 plus over the next maybe few weeks. But ultimately, on the short-term timeframes, I do think that you are kind of just going sideways for the time being. Short-term, however, like very short-term on a 4-hour, can we get a move back up towards $8? Yeah. In fact, it does look like it's putting a bit of a local low right here. Volatility coming off the lows as well, and momentum oscillators are pointing northwards. So I am biased towards short-term upside. Just I can't really get too excited about this thing for the long term as long as you're below about $9. Above $9 on a daily closure, that's where I think this thing starts to actually do some more impressive moves yet again, perhaps back up to, double digits, obviously like $11, $12, and probably continues on with the party after that. But for right now, higher term time frames more or less sideways, which is good, above $7, let's call it. 4-hour and lower, looking for a little bit of short-term upside. I would get a lot more excited back above about $9 in this case. Other than that, no real strong opinions on the other time frames. Yeah, not super interested in the monthly right now. I think this one probably takes its time. For the time being, as it was an early mover, so that is kind of be expected. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for Serum. Nice one, sir. Let's see. Oh dear lord, Shiba Inu, please. All right, let's do it, Brandon. Let's do it. Okay, so SHIB, that one actually did close on new highs a couple days ago, so I suppose that we're looking for new highs after that. And did we get them? Yeah, we did get a nice spike back up here. This one's actually flagging out at a high level. Said flag with an L, by the way, flagging, not the other one. And 2600 is kind of where I'd have my short-term invalidation around. This one, for what it's worth, if you're just going off a straight TA, yeah, this is good right here. I mean, this is a reaccumulation formation. Hey, what the fuck? Too many lines going on right there. And my red LARP lines are not working. God damn it, Crown was wrong. Anyways, I actually do still think that you could very easily play out a move down around there towards 2800. Ultimately, though, I'm bullish on this thing as long as you're above 2800 Satoshis for the short, medium, and long term. Looking for confirmation of breakout above 3350 or so. And in this case, at that point, you're probably going to see another run. Probably somewhere around 4,000 at that point. Again, be aware of the invalidation points because below about 2600? Yeah, below 2600, I'll look for another test all the way back down to 2,000. And at that point, I'd actually be looking for this one to fall apart a bit. But for the time being, still a generally bullish chart here. I'm just always a little bit more on the skeptical side whenever I see the Dogecoins. But apparently this one does have some actual fundamentals. So fair enough. Acting like it as well, which is good. What's up, Magic Internet Money? Oh my God. A super chat of 666. It's the fucking devil, man. It could very well be true, Mr. Magic Internet Money. It could very well be true. But you know what, man? You got to let people do what they're going to do. If they want to dislike the video, man. I hope it makes you feel better in your life, That's all. Mr. Ash K says, hello, sir. General overview on FTM? Sure. Also buy a massage gun in Dubai as an alternative. Oh, you can buy a massage gun instead of a dildo there. That's actually genius. I really want a massage gun too. That's actually really, really smart, man. Thank you for that idea. I bet it's cheaper over there too. Not that they're like too expensive to begin with, but well, yeah, if I need a good reason to, that will be it. All right, FTM USD. Let's see what she's got. This one was certainly one of the better charts that we've been looking at over the past week or so now. Still among the best charts. However, are we getting ready for more sideways consolidation here? actually, this consolidation is rather mature. BBWP on the 4-hour is rather low here. I'd be looking forward to level out a little bit more. However, very bullish. Oh, the red LARP line's still working there. Get rid of them for right now. The old LARP lines. You know, could this one grind out $2 yet again, similar to yesterday? Yeah, that's completely fine. As long as you're closing above $2, I do look for this one to trade sideways out of this region and very likely back up around the prior highs at 240. I think that this one just takes a little bit more time in this case. For what it's worth, the 4-hour does say that we probably see a move maybe later today back up towards 215, 216. Again, I don't know if that's relevant to you or not, because on a daily, I can't really get too excited about this thing as long as you're below about 234 in this case. But we did see a nice consolidation after the 2618 was hit all the way down to the 2. That is a little bit deeper than what you typically do want, but ultimately trading sideways within that region is completely fine, completely good. Now I should talk about invalidation and what to expect after that. Below about $2 even on a 4-hour closure, I would look for this one to come all the way down to about $1.85. And at that point, I would be looking for a bounce there and then come back and reanalyze it. Again, long term, this is a great, an example of a great chart to kind of address the person who asked earlier. It's like, which coin should you be holding? If Bitcoin does go up to some crazy numbers, well, I like to go with the good charts, and this one's definitely been a good actor, and I suspect that it'll only get stronger if Bitcoin continues onwards and upwards from its current levels. So hopefully that was helpful, sir. And I will definitely remember the massage gun. That actually sounds genius because I could definitely use one myself. What's up, One Bridum? Long-term analysis of Solana or Cardano. We've already kind of done Cardano. We can look at... we already looked at Solana as well. We got both of these. Long-term, both of them are very, very good. Solana is probably a little bit better long-term, as this one has not given up a lot of its rally. It's actually holding up really, really high here. Long-term, I suspect that you probably want the flashy shit. Like, what are some long-term areas of interest? For Solana, we're talking like months down the road, sir, and assuming that this market does continue onwards and upwards, but $400 to $500 is certainly not out of the question for Solana there. One of the better actors. Cardano, a little bit less interesting there, just because, well, it's just not as fucking good, man, as of a chart. But it's hard to imagine that if Bitcoin does continue onwards and upwards, Cardano doesn't follow as much. It's just Solana is probably going to be a better pound for pound call right there. Still though, both are sideways. Solana a little bit better for the short and medium term. Until we really start to break back above about 180, I don't think it's like time to be super excited about these things. For example, T Lord Davies says, "Hey, can you look at KAI Cardia Coin? Oh, this sounds good. KAI. This is Cardia Chain. Man, how many fucking chain tokens do we need? Actually, not a bad chart for what it's worth. Looking at a move probably back around just over 5 cents or so. No time frames given, so where the fuck do I go with this one? I don't know. Invalidation below about 4.5 cents. Until then, short term, medium term, looking for some upside. I'd get excited about this chart back above about 6.75 cents. Back above there, things start to look pretty damn good again for a probably return to your prior glories in April, May or so. But other than that, man, I don't really know where you want to go with that one. What's up, Basil? Hey, my bro Kramer. Actually, we actually watched an episode of Seinfeld the other day. It's an entertaining show. Like, it's interesting to watch, but it's not like funny. I don't know. Like, do people think that that's funny? It's not very funny. Hope you're well as well, man. XRP Daily Weekly, sure, man. Much love from Finland. Much love from Helsinki, sir. XRP USD over here. Should we record this one for the XRP army? Let me just double check. Yeah, we can do it. Why not, man? Why not? Here we have Ripple symbol XRP versus the Derper, and what do we have on the daily? We do have what appears to be our next higher low in a series of higher lows, so I'm a little bit more biased towards the upside right here. BBWP coming off the lows as well, so we're probably looking at a move, maybe not necessarily today, but perhaps in the next 5 to 7 days, I suspect. In this case, I'm going to be biased towards the upside. Any sort of a daily closure above 115.5, I'd be looking for this one to actually go on quite a nice little ride towards 130 or so. Looking at a 4-hour right here. Short term, a little bit more rangy, could come back down to 110. That's not a problem. I would only invalidate this idea below about $1.08 on a 4-hour in this case. Other time frames, are looking more or less fine here as well. I'm more inclined to say that this one's going to try some upside. Hidden bullish divergence on the weekly RSI as well, and monthly probably follows through here too, man. It's hard to be bearish on this chart. Generally looking good for some short and medium term upside. Again, be aware of where those pivots are, but the setup is certainly there. I'd get a lot more excited about this thing long term above about $1.40. Until then, Sideways and up is probably the name of the game within validation below about 108, let's call it. Hopefully that was helpful, sir. And there you go. Let me turn that off now. Nice. What's up, Martin Hunt? Can we look at KDA on the daily plays? Man, people love the altcoins today. They love the altcoins. Daily, generally up. Yeah, we did have a nice wick on that last high right there, but I suspect that this thing's just an illiquid shitcoin, and that's why you get stuff like that. Very short term, probably comes back down to 220. I'd really only be concerned about this thing below about 210. Daily, I suspect that this one does continue onwards and upwards here. Onwards and upwards here, man. I'd only be concerned if you start to close daily dildos below, let's call it 210. Yeah, below 210, I'd be looking for this one to correct all the way back down, somewhere around about $1.75 to $1.60 or so. Until then, kind of just looking sideways and up on this one. Good chart though. I mean, it just generally goes up, so it shouldn't be too harsh on something like this. Yeah, fair enough. You know, fair enough on something like this. Monthly, long-term good, man. So I expect that that's probably more relevant to you. Oh, Mr. Clenbra, there he is, full of energy and ready to let it rip. Kati, 4-hour daily. I think we looked at this one, or was it a different? And all these fucking shit coins look the same. All these fucking shit coins lazy, hanging on the fucking porch. Some lazy fucking shit coins stealing all our jobs. 4-hour daily. Let's see. I don't know. 4-hour right here. Bullish as long as you're above 49 cent, man. But it's not bullish on the daily as long as you're above 49 cent. Below 49 cent, I'd look for another correction down somewhere around 40 cent even actually, and come back to it after that. Until then, you know, this thing's very likely just going sideways and up from here. 4-hour time frame, I'd like to see this one close above about 52 cents and look for a move back up towards 54, 55. Hard to get super excited for like you know, another trending move as long as you're above basically 55 on a daily. You know, it's generally good here, generally good. So have to be respectful of these charts, even though they all look the same. I sound like who the fuck is Arthur? Oh, I sound from Red Dead. I see. What's up, Luke T? Bcash. Okay. Well, I'm curious to see how Bcash is doing during all of this. While the rest of the world rallies to new highs and beyond, what has Bcash done? Did it actually make new all-time highs above 2017? That is the real question here. No, nowhere even close. Holy shit! This thing opened up at like $4,000. Man, that is painful. Hidden bullish divergence on the weekly. Daily probably follows through here as well. I'd have a very quick invalidation below about 580. Below 580, this thing probably falls back down to its depths yet again. Look, definitely a relatively weak piece of shit right here, but you know, if this thing starts to close above 670, I'd be looking for it to reclaim around its May highs above $1,000 again. Just a very unimpressive, uninteresting chart long term. But for what it's worth, you know, as long as you do hold this pivot right here about 580, let's call it. Short term, probably looking for a move towards 660 to 670 or so. You know, again, when you talk about relatively strong and relatively weak, this one is not just relatively weak, it's relatively shitty as fuck. That's your real chart right there. So be aware, but hopefully that was helpful, sir. What's up, Tank Silver? Telcoin on the daily and hourly. Okay. Please include as many F-bombs as possible. I take the analysis more seriously then. Okay. All right. The F-bomb, dropping some nukes over here. Telcoin on the weekly pretty good actually. But you're looking at a daily and hourly. All right, well, fair enough. Daily pretty damn good as well. Big breakout above about 2.7 cent. Looking for moves back up towards your May highs, range highs. That is 3.7, maybe even 4 cents. Even at like or I think you said an hourly right here. Hourly short-term top, he probably plays back down towards 2.3. I don't know if that's relevant to you or not, but generally speaking, I'm going to be bullish on this one as long as you're above 2.2.5 pivot on the daily and looking for sideways, and that very likely does take out this prior high. I mean, you got the setup right there. The market conditions are very forgiving here too, and Telcoin has had a generally good chart over a long period of time, so you know, should get respected. If I had to call it right now, I'd be looking for this one back around 4 cents in the next couple of weeks here. It's generally okay, generally good. Not one of the shittiest shitcoins. In fact, actually a decent shitcoin right there. Jesse LaJolie says Atom USD Nance Nance. Cosmos here, okay. And so you're looking at a daily and a weekly. Daily, you know, cautiously bullish as long as you're above $32. Again, this is more market analysis than anything else. Weekly, this one's had a phenomenal run. you know, you got your first major correction down to the 10 simple right here. That's okay. Be looking for this one to probably trade sideways and up out of this range as well. Invalidation below about 32 or 33 and a quarter in this case. Looking for short-term back up towards 36 bucks. You know, I'd still kind of hold off on getting super excited about this thing as long as you're below 40 bucks. But generally speaking, it's kind of the market conditions right now that are relatively nice towards everything, it seems like. What's up, Reese? We already looked at FTM. We can look at Woo, and dare I humbly request that just one at a time, man, because we do have a lot of people here today. Yeah, Woo's good. Woo's good. Looking for a move back up towards 111 or so. 4 hour, another higher low right here. Looks like invalidation obviously below about 95 cent. Until then, man, looking back up towards 110 and probably beyond. Decent history for what we have right here. Not a whole hell of a lot of it, but generally like it. Hidden bullish evidence off the last low. I'm biased towards the upside right there. No time frames given though. God damn it. What's up, MM? VRA 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. Sure. Okay, Veracity. Daily. A little bit short, a little bit daily toppy here. I wouldn't say that this one's like going to put in a macro top, for example. Yeah, 4 hour, a little more toppy as well. I play this one. I look at this one as likely to go back, probably back around 5 cents as long as you're below 6 cent. That's my invalidation point. Long term, it's good. I mean, it's generally up long term, but you do have, I suspect, some bearish divergence going on right here. Yeah, you do. To be fair, I actually think this one probably tests back down around about 5 cents. For anything else, long term still very good. Where would I invalidate this one? Back above 6 cent and look for basically a run towards your prior highs and probably beyond towards 7+ cent. But for right now, I'm more inclined to be on the short term downside. Long term, you know, sideways and up. However, it's very good long term, to be fair. Let's see. Logan Barker says, can you please have a look at EGLD higher term timeframes? Okay. EGLD. Okay. Yeah, fine right here, man. Looks to me like it's reaccumulating at a very high level. So that is strength. That is nice and strong as people like to say. Let's see. Let's go down to a 4 hour right here. Yeah, 4 hour looking good for some short term upside, about 250 or so. I think that you did not ask about that though. You're looking at higher term timeframes. Higher term timeframes, very good, very good, man. This one acts as one of the more stronger ones that we've seen today, holding it up on a very high consolidation here. Look, invalidation below about 225 on a daily, but ultimately I'm looking back around about 280 to 300 bucks actually. I mean, this is looking like it's setting up for a move, maybe even today or tomorrow, like that being Thursday and Friday. BBWP on the floor right here, and this one just put another higher low. Probably looking for this one to head back up towards 275 to 280 or so. It's good. It's good. Decred says, what's a hot take on privacy coins, DCR versus XMR? Like, as far as the fundamentals go, you're asking the wrong person. I don't fucking know. Any hope for privacy nerds on the 6 month horizon? I think if you're playing privacy coins, like if you're talking about from a fundamental perspective, I think that they're all kind of doomed in a way, to be honest with you. The reason why is because that is going to be the most hotly contested ones by regulators. I mean, obviously, the whole purpose for integration with traditional world with cryptocurrencies is that basically, you know, the government and IRS are going to be able to track you better. I mean, that's basically what it's going to come down to. And privacy coins that get in the way of that are just not going to be handled too well. So, you know, people like to think that that Monero and other privacy coins are like actually private. From what I understand and from what I actually told, if someone really wants to find out where those are going towards, they're going to be able to find out. There's no such thing as real privacy. As if you're just asking about charts, we can look at charts really quickly here. Monero, uninteresting, although I mean uninteresting in comparison to a lot of the other more interesting charts that we've seen today. But yeah, it's long-term bullish. Probably be looking for this one back above 400 bucks, and you know, in the next 6 months, probably even above there. Looking at Decred, symbol DCR. Let's just see. Hold on, let's go to a more long-running chart, maybe Bittrex. Yeah, here we go. This one's not even that long either. Hold on, I want to see. Yeah, here we go. This is where we can get one. Yeah, there we go. Actually, Decred pretty good as well. In fact, I would even say Decred might be a better chart actually. One holds the highs better than Monero actually. So fair enough. You know, would be massively bullish back above 180 and probably imply run towards the ultimate highs within the next month. Or sorry, not within the next month, but within the next 6 months. Other than that, man, actually Decred has a better long-term chart for what it's worth. What's up, Lemon? Good morning, sir. Not sure my earlier super chat got through. Looking at DYDX. Yeah, we looked at it actually earlier. We can look at it again. Why not? Sure. Let's see. What do we have here? You're looking at a 4 hour and a daily. 4 hour, looking for a little bit of short term up, somewhere around 23.5 or so. Daily, same thing. I'm bullish on this one. Mostly going sideways here for the short term on a daily, but I'm bullish on it as long as you're above, even on a 4 hour closure. Let's call it 21, just 21 even. Nice and easy on that one. I'd be looking for confirmation of that next short term move to the upside with a closure above 22.75 or so. Ooh, range bound forever. No, I mean, this thing's generally been pretty fucking good, man. No, I think that this thing is actually one of the more interesting charts if you're just looking at the lower term time frame, especially. Cool. All right. John Dude says Meta Hero Q. Okay. I'm just going to type this one in and see what pops up. Yeah, nothing. Unfortunately, maybe if I just do Meta. God damn it. Yeah, it looks like TradingView does not have it, man. I apologize, but I am limited towards what TradingView has here. And as you can see, Meta Hero is either too new or too shitty to be hosted on TradingView. I'm going to go with probably too new. Hey, what's up, Michelangelo? Best of the best to you as well, sir. AKT? Okay, AKT. Sounds like a stock, or is it? Nope, it's probably it's a cash. A cash. All right. Yeah, very uninteresting chart already, man. Holy shit. Wow. Very, very shitty chart right here, actually, all things considered. Is this a reward token? This thing likes to get sold, it looks like. 4 hour, okay. 4 hour. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, this thing is weak as fuck. I think best it does see upside. It's like 3.25. And I do think that it does have a little bit more upside right here, but 3.25 is kind of where I'd be looking towards. Above there, things, you know, I'm not really going to go against the general trend here. I would feel very uncomfortable being like more long-term bullish above, as long as you're below about 369. But short-term, yeah, I would be favoring some upside here in validation below about 295 in this case. Until then, yeah, path of least resistance is short-term to the upside, but a very, very unimpressive and shitty chart for what it's worth. Yeah, we did do AXS. It was actually the first one, in fact. What's up, Pablo? Bonjour, mon ami. Can you look at AT&T? Yeah, it's just symbol T, right? Yep. There we go. I remember my stonks, although I never traded this. Holy shit, this one's awful. Oh my god, this one's awful. This one's nuking, baby. This one is nuking. Okay, which time frame are you looking at? Hourly and daily. Okay, well, weekly, this is just a free fall down to 24 bucks. But daily, are we bouncing in between there? I mean, there's going to be bounce along the way, obviously, yes. Is the hourly going to bounce up? I think best hourly bounce gets up to like 25.5 bucks. I don't necessarily think that that's what's happening here. The higher term time frames are speaking pretty conclusively that this one wants some downside, man. 24 bucks probably long term. Very, very nasty. I mean, the monthly is just atrocious. This is a god-awful chart right here. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. We have, that must be like the early morning disliker, man. Holy shit. Like, dude. Man, I really hope you sort things out, man. It'd just be better for everyone else. Anyways, yeah, man, pretty awful here. I think, you know, if you are looking for hourly bounces, you're playing with fire, obviously, but you know, if it does want to bounce up anywhere around 25 to 25.5, I think best it does on an hourly. Long term, I think this one's very obviously to the downside, and you will see bounce along the way, but I'd be generally looking towards 24 bucks or so. What's up, Nuke Tech? ETN, okay, we got, is this Electronium? I think it is Electronium. It is Electronium. Got a 2017 shitcoin right here, baby. See what we got. Let's see what we got. Tim Wright is a lying piece of shit, scammer, fraud. Okay, so apparently he doesn't just do this on my channel. He just goes to every channel. And this, I don't know. It's probably some YouTuber or something. Who knows what this guy? Who knows what this guy's life is like? 4 hour. Sure, man. Yeah, let's check it out there. Check it out. 4 hour. What do we have here? Interesting on the 4 hour. Actually, this one is not pushing through where you'd like to see it push through. Here's the thing. I suppose I would be a little more on the Boolah side here. In validation, below 1.19, that is. Anywhere below 1.9, especially on a 4 hour closure, even on a 2 hour closure, I'm looking for this one to retest lows and probably make new lows on this run. Until then, I would give it the benefit of the doubt and look probably for a move back towards just north of 2 cent, 2.1 or so. If you're just looking at a 4 hour right there. What's up, Scott? Scott Soul. Hey, Crown, can you look at CRV? Curve? Is this Curve? Curve your enthusiasm. Yeah, there we go. Looking good. Hey, looking good. I don't know what time frames you're looking at right here, but 4 hours looking like it wants a little bit of a short-term breakout back up to 330, 332 or so. Daily, actually very constructive off the lows right here. Another higher low right there. BBWP on the floor as it consolidates in a bullish fashion. Probably be looking for this one more long-term to head back up towards 350, 360 region. It's good. This is good. I know that this one certainly is reward token, so you know my thoughts on that, but this one actually is setting up for a move here. Weekly is actually very constructive, very, very good as well, so I'd give this one, I'd actually be long-term bullish on this one. I just don't know which time frames you're looking at. Rug pull, great for shorts. On this, I don't know about that, man. How about Sunny? What about Sunny? You talking about Sunny Decree? I like him. I haven't spoken to him in a long time, but he's a reasonable guy. He's very, very chilled out. I haven't spoken to him in like a couple years though, but I like him. Like him as a person, man. I mean, most of the YouTubers that I know, I like as people. Apparently he got scammed from someone named Tim. Yeah, I guess so. Then again, you know, nowadays, like, people use, okay, when someone tells me that someone is a scammer, like, to me, that means that they did something, like, truly fucking awful. Like, they presented something in a way to knowingly deceive other people, but I feel like scammer kind of gets overused, because some people just mean scammer like, I don't fucking like them. Like someone called, who am I trying to think of? I don't know, someone... I mean, everyone just calls everyone a fucking scammer nowadays. It's the same thing as like LARP. It's like people just kind of jump on the new word to use, and it's like it kind of loses meaning, man. Because to me, it's like if someone calls someone a scammer, like, whoa, that's like, okay, this guy's jail, you know. Elsa's a scammer. Yeah, there you go. EA says STX BTC. Sure. You went all in at 4,200. All right. All right. Well, let's see. This is Stormax. This is or Stacks. No, this is Stacks. You went all in at 4,200. Sorry, I'm on the wrong chart there. But this one's probably going to be decent. Oh, nope. Well, at least not for you. You went all in at 4,200. Okay. No time frames given. I mean, generally speaking, this one probably does pull through here on the daily. If you're looking at a 4 hour, not so great. Short term, a little bit of downside implied, probably 3680 at least. If things really get going, then 3,600 or so. Long term though, this is actually a decent chart. It's okay. It just depends kind of where you're angled at. But you bought the green dildos, sir. You were chasing green dildos. It looks like, which fair enough. But weekly, higher term timeframes are generally fine here. Probably does work its way back up there. But well, now you kind of know. Now this is kind of the reason why I don't necessarily like to trade shitcoins or Bitcoin pairings. Just you're probably on the right side of the trade versus the US dollar. It's just versus Bitcoin, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. Okay, cool. All right. Hey, what's up, Nimbo? There he is. Can we have a look at gold? What? Oh, okay. So, all right. So John Dude says, I'm asking a general question about when coins get listed on Binance as holding a Meta Hero bag. I want to sell if it pumps. Meta Hero not listed on Binance yet. Okay. So this is more of a theoretical question, but basically, you know, what do these essentially fall into the narrative of? And the narrative, or the situation is, we have a coin that's going to get listed on an exchange, so Binance in this case, which lists fucking everything now, doesn't it? What typically happens? Well, you get a run up into the listing, and then once it actually lists, either a day before, a day after, somewhere around there, typically a sell the event type of thing, similar to, you know, CME futures launching, runs up into it, and then once it launches, dump it out. Same sort of thing. So yeah, that's I think that's kind of what you're looking for there. What's up, Decred? Thoughts on how Link went counter trend during the last 3 years? I mean, that's a generally good long-term sign. It's kind of seems a little bit less correlated to the general market during that time, but more recently, kind of pulled back into the general crew here. You know, not as impressive as you would have expected for one of the more strong ones long-term, but I suspect that this one does end up being pretty damn good. It's been going through a more prolonged consolidation. I think that this one's actually going to pull through right here and back above 28 bucks or so. Again, BBWP on the floor, and this one did just put in a higher low. So you have a very obvious setup right here, you know, below, what is it, 24 and a half, 25 bucks. I'm bearish, but until then, I treat this as a potential higher low in place, and I'm favoring the market analysis over everything else, and you know, probably pulls through, man. So over the past 3 years, yeah, one of the best charts. It was the best chart in cryptocurrency land for about 3 years. During that time, then, you know, corrected a little bit more. So that is a good long-term signal in my book. Yeah, we can look at gold, Mr. Nimbo. Let's go look at shitcoin Goldo. Got 1800 right here. Oh, what do you know? Nice little low on the 5-day. I suspect that this one actually does pull through. And by the way, the 5 days closing today. Any sort of a closure here or higher above 1790. Looking for this one to trade back up towards 1825 to 1830 into November. So same thing on the weekly here too. Not a humongous fan of this chart long term, but yeah, I'd be looking for some short term upside. Invalidation is going to obviously be below about 1780 on a daily. Until then, you know, this one very likely wants to trade back up towards 1835, and above 1835 you can start to extend targets a lot more towards your May highs, or at least that's kind of the way that I'd be looking at it, man. What's up, Pablo South? Hey, thanks, man. It's lit. Yes, we're fucking lit, baby. And NUE, yeah, man, we haven't looked at this one in a long time. Holy shit, I remember when you used to ask about this every day, and then it finally actually made its move. See where it is now. Hey, yeah, there we go. So we did get the move to 130, so not bad right there. Anyways, you're saying hourly, daily. I just want to see where it is on the weekly. Weekly does seem to be put in a bit of a low right here, and will have hidden bullish evidence. So I do want to have that in the back of my mind's eye. Daily, same sort of thing. Short term, probably looking at 104, 105 region. Any sort of a daily closure above, let's call it 106. I'd actually extend that significantly all the way up to a $1.10, a $1.12 region. Hourly. Short term up, yeah. Short term looking for a move somewhere just above, 102, 103 region, and then kind of follow onto the daily and weekly if that does happen. Generally speaking, though, I like the chart long term. Let's see what the monthly looks like. Yeah, long term I have to be bullish on this thing as long as you're above $90 or so. Kind of the same thing as what we were looking at, like, I guess it was like half a year ago now, man. Kind of crazy. What's up, Marcos? Hackround, can you please check out Fear? Interested in the next few days. Bought at 160 and don't want to ride down for a week. Okay. Symbol FEAR. All right. Okay. Let's see. Ah, Jesus, man. This one's very new right here. You bought at 160. So you bought the top of the wick right there. It was 165. It's probably gonna be fine, man. I suspect that it's just an illiquid shitcoin, and that's why you're getting these massive wicks. I'd be actually short term looking for a bit of sideways and up as long as you're above about $1.20. Below $1.20, bad. Looking for big moves down to 90 to 95 cents after that. But for right now, you give it the benefit of the doubt. Momentum oscillators are in a more bullish posturing. Just not a humongous fan of this chart long term, to be fair. So fair enough, man. Maybe you have your reasons as to why you really like it. What's up, winning choice? ACH. Okay, ACH, huh? Is this Alchemex or something else? Let's ACH. Alchemy Pay. All right. Okay. That's a cool name, I guess. 4 hour and daily. Huobi has history. Yep, you are indeed right about that, sir. 4 hour, again, market analysis over individualistic analysis. I'm inclined, look, if I was just looking at this thing, I'd say, it doesn't look too hot, but I'm inclined to say, hey, this is probably going to be a short-term reversal right here. With that in mind, you can have your invalidation below about 5.8 cent, of course, or at least that's what I'd be looking at right there. Of course, it's not finished vice. Until then, probably does bounce up again. Probably does give you another bounce back up towards about 6.8 cent. BBWP should be coming off the lows right here, and momentum oscillators are suggesting a bounce more than anything else. But hey, below 5.8, this thing probably goes into free fall mode yet again. I'm inclined to say this one does bounce here. I mean, you're kind of in a more bouncy territory on the higher term time frame. So I wouldn't get too excited about it as long as you're below 7.7, but sideways is good for the boo laws here for what it's worth. Sweet. I think I am going to actually be signing off relatively soon here. All right, we'll do one more from Mr. Hashem. Man, Hashem, it's been a long time, dude. Holy shit, good to see you, brother. Happy USD. Okay, we'll do this one and we'll end on this one. Okay, happy versus Tether. All right. Weird one, man. Happy on the daily. I guess I give it the benefit of the doubt as long as it's above $65.50, and probably do look for it to trade sideways and up out of here. But difficult to get excited about this thing as long as you're below 81.5. Long term, I guess it's okay. Hasn't been around for too long, to be fair. But short term, I'd be looking for a bit of a bounce, maybe back up to $75. I remain, I suppose, somewhat bullish on it as long as you're above 65, even on a 4-hour closure. Until then, sideways and likely up, probably test the tops of the range somewhere around 75 to 80, and then I wouldn't really be looking at this one as a breakout to the upside, implying test towards a optimize and probably beyond, as long as you're below about $85 or so. Until then, man, probably just easier to watch Bitcoin, as Bitcoin's going to set the tone for the general direction here, it looks like, and then altcoins get to follow in varying degrees of strength. It's a sad coin. Very sad, man. Very, very sad. Monday stream from Dubai prison cell. Yeah, could very well be, man. Could very well be. Now, I don't think I'll be doing live streams from Dubai. I think we'll just do straight up uploaded videos. I do want to enjoy my time there as much as possible because, well, I've never been there, man. I want to visit the Middle East before I die, and I expect that Elsa does as well. So we want to make sure that we make the most out of it. Hey, what's up, Jev? All right, brother. All right. Appreciate that, my friend. And with that said, hey, and thanks again, Mrs. R. Aussie Gal. Ha, love it. Crown, create a social token and only share it with Patreon members. I don't have a Patreon, man. And it's probably not wise for me to get into that, man. That just seems like unnecessary risk. Anyways, with that said, fellas, and also fellers, girl fellers, I don't know. Ladies, yeah. Again, Bitcoin, very, very short term. Again, playing out a little bit of a pullback here. That's completely fine. I am looking at this as short term good as long as about 56.3. Let's call it a 56.5. Higher term time is what I focus on right now, as we do have a pretty nice setup here on the 5 days. So with all of that in mind, I'm gonna be signing off now. Elsa is not waving in the background because, oh, she is waving now. All right, with that said, take care. I want to wish you well yet again. Take care, and hopefully see you very soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR, pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it, fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate. Pause it, list it, send it, burn it, pump it, hack it, quick rename.